Good afternoon. My name is Robert Cowan, and I am a part of Visitation Valley Community Unity. Welcome to our update day. This evening, we are pleased to see Natalie G. from District 10, who's going to come and provide some information for us. We appreciate her. Know that they're very busy down there. We at Visitation Valley Community Unity are a group of leaders in Visitation Valley who come together to give voice to the residents in Visitation Valley and to provide information. And so this is one of those meetings, and we are grateful for Ms. G, who's on, and also we're going to have a representative from the police station, the captain. All right, without further ado, Ms. G, we're in your hands.
Thank you, Pastor Cohen. Hi, everyone. Good evening. And so I have some quick updates before I jump off for our budget town hall right here at the Southeast Community Center. It starts at 5 o'clock if you want to come by after the meeting, but we will also be having a virtual town hall on May 8th, and we will share that information once we get closer to the date. So a quick update from our office. We worked on a reparations package resolution in support of the state reparation bills that are going through as part of the California Legislative Black Caucus. And so that was introduced this past Tuesday. The board will be voting on it next Tuesday. Next Monday at Land Use and Transportation at 1:30 p.m., we are going to be hearing on Station 44 landmarking, and that's going to be on item number 1. So if anyone is interested in providing public comment on Station 44, please come to the Board of Supervisors and provide that. We don't anticipate anyone going against it. I think like everyone's on board, so it should be very smooth. On May 6th, we have pushed our language access ordinance as well as the hearing to May 6th at Rules Committee, but that is also pending on some more additional amendments from the language access that we're working with the city attorney with. Some big highlights on that is just that we are trying to also expand the languages covered and also make it a little bit more easier for OCSA, the Department or Office of Immigrant Affairs and Civic Engagement, to be able to enforce the language access ordinance across different city departments. So we're trying to give more tools for that department so that there will be more access to language access. Also, just a heads up, on May 20th, which is on Monday at Rules, we are also going to have the hearing on Eugene Berger on just the ongoing issues that's been happening at Petroleum Hill housing as well as Sunnydale housing. So those were the big top line legislative items. We are pending the neighborhood commercial district legislation on Leland Avenue. We have a meeting with the merchants on May 3rd, and sorry, people are starting to come in if it's gets a little bit too noisy here, but we are going to be having a neighborhood NCD legislation. We're meeting with the merchants on May 3rd on it. And then we'll also be doing a merchant walk with the captain on May 23rd at 11:30 a.m. Throughout Leland. Couple things on the budget process because we are about to enter it. I know some folks may be funded by DCYF and they may have been part of the across the board cuts that have happened on Monday. So we're telling if your organization that was funded by DCYF and your funding was cut, please reach out to our office. You can email me. Tracy is the one who is staffing for our office, but we are also just gathering all the information we can to see like which groups got cut and which groups not. Also budget process, town hall tonight, and I think that is all for my updates. And happy to take some questions before I have to jump off.
Louis has his hand up. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, Natalie. Luis Quadra. Can you tell me a little more about the Leland Avenue Neighborhood Commercial District Ordinance?
Yes, so that one is basically Leland Avenue was not incorporated as a neighborhood commercial district when they did a citywide legislation for it. So this is just following up for that legislation to make Leland Avenue, starting from not the source on Bayshore, but the all the way from Bayshore all the way to a little bit past where the park is, to be a neighborhood commercial district. And what that entails is some more protections for small businesses there, and also opportunities for small businesses.
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, a quick question on the historic preservation or landmarking. Is that hearing only in person, or can you do a virtual call-in?
It is only all the Board of Supervisor hearings now are all in person. You can also email your public comments to the clerk's office, and they can put it in the appropriate file afterwards.
So the funding that was cut from DCYF, have those organizations been notified? And if so, how were they notified?
Yes, so DCYF published all their new grants this year on Monday. And so a lot of the organizations check the website. If they didn't see their name on there, then that means they were cut. And we're just letting folks know, like, if you check the website and you didn't see your organization or your program there, then like make sure you email us. But what we heard as well is that if it was a new program, then it was probably not funded because they were not funding any new programs. But a lot of our existing programs in District 10 actually got cut, or the funding got a lot lower than it was supposed to be.
Okay, I appreciate it. Any other questions for Natalie before she goes to her other meeting? Is that it? All right.
One more thing. So we're restarting our District 10 monthly updates. They used to be bi-weekly. They used to be weekly during the pandemic and then bi-weekly. And now we're restarting it for monthly. The first one will be on May 13th on Monday at 11 o'clock on Zoom. So if you are interested in also joining those meetings, it's mostly for our community-based organizations or nonprofits that do the service work in D10 as an update. But if you're interested in joining, please let me know and I can add you onto the list.
Okay. And so this is just an update meeting. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, it's just like our monthly updates of like similar to like what I do here, but a little bit longer. Sometimes we might have departments coming in to do a short presentation about a certain issue, or we'll have like maybe multiple departments or people sharing like upcoming programs in that meeting. So we're gonna try our best to keep it to half an hour, but it'll be mainly like updates from our office and updates from key departments.
Got it. Okay. All right. Do you know if on May 13th you're gonna have somebody come in?
We're still planning out that for now, but for now we're for sure having the meeting at that time, but we're working on like arranging the guest speakers.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Ms. G? Fantastic. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your afternoon at the other meeting you have to go to.
Thank you so much. I'll see you all next time.
Fantastic. All
Thank you,
right.
Natalie.
The officer, well, there he is, Officer Cortez. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Are you giving the update from the captain today, or?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I think the captain's also, because we were told the meeting was gonna start at 5:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give
Okay.
us 1 second, okay?
All right. Just wanted to see, I'm not trying to rush anybody.
Yeah.
So typically, so go ahead.
Since we have a little bit of a break, we know we have Luis Quadra from Burke Davidson. They represent Baylands. Not to put them on the spot, but can we have you guys scheduled for one of these meetings in the future? Have a presentation from Baylands? Can you get that in their ear and put that on our calendar, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not putting me on the spot. So it's the third Thursday of every month, 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. I will send an email now and confirm.
Okay, so perfect. We can have a presentation from Baylands soon. Thank you.
And it's just like, you're just looking for a casual update, right? Just on where we are.
I would think so. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Fantastic. So I see that Captain Hurwitz has logged on. No need to wait until 5:15 since she's already here. And so we will hear from the captain right now. Thank you so much for being on. We appreciate you for being a few minutes early, and we await your report. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, you didn't give me any ramp up time, but that's all right. Anything I don't know, I have like one of my best officers, Lorena Cortez, is on the meeting, and James George is behind her. So what I don't know, I assure you they will. So hello, everybody. It's nice to see you. Those of you I see. Thank you for asking us to come to this meeting. It's an important group. So in terms of what are we seeing in the area? Well, we're not seeing a lot, which is fantastic. We did have a shooting that was sort of nearby on Ordway and Ward, with no one in custody. And from my semi-expert appearance, my experience, it doesn't seem to be by accident. So the person survived, and the homicide unit is working on it. So aside from that incident, I don't have a lot of, happily, I don't have a lot of horrible things to report. I will tell you, Ingleside as a whole, our stats are trending lower in terms of violent crime and property crime for the third or fourth week in a row, which is great. So I think there's a lot of factors to that. Russell, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Just on next doors, again, a lot of stuff goes on next door. A neighbor put on a 300 block of Arleta. There was what he said was a home invasion with a weapon at an Airbnb, but he didn't have any other details about it. Is that something on your radar?
Actually, that is correct. So there were some people from New York who rented an Airbnb, and there was a home invasion type situation that transpired there. We do have video from the area. We do have a suspect vehicle. I'll release that information as soon as I can. And I can't say if that was targeted or not. I'm not sure. So based on the information I have, I don't know. So if Officer George or Officer Cortez have anything they want to add to that, they can. But when these things get handed over to investigations, it's sort of it closes the lid on information sharing until it comes through the judicial process. But that is definitely an incident that happened. Thank you for reminding me of that one. Anyone else?
Any questions for the captain?
Yeah, I raised my hand. Hello,
Nelson.
Captain.
Hi,
Nelson, how you
Nelson.
doing?
Good.
I have a couple of issues. We have especially early in the morning, a lot of people really don't stop at stop signs, and I almost got T-boned in Sharon and Sunnydale. And the guy
Okay.
was going about maybe at least 45, 50 miles an hour. And it's a big problem. A lot of people zoom past stop signs at a high rate of speed, even on Visitation Avenue as well. So I'm not sure you guys, I haven't seen a police officer, like parked in a corner with a bike and monitoring it, but it's a pretty big problem. It happened one too many times already. So I'm not sure, have you guys kind of got any input, or you got any complaints from the residents here at Visitation Valley about that, reckless driving or high-speed driving?
Okay, thanks for that, Nelson. This is the first time I'm hearing about Sherwin and Sunnydale, so I will have the officers down there. We have heard about Leland, and I have had the officers there. They've set up on Leland many, many times in the very recent, from now going back for at least a month or so. They've been out there. So
And also Visitation Avenue too. It's also a hot spot. People zoom right past at a high speed. Those Sunnydale, Visitation.
okay, I will make sure the units are back there. So unfortunately, because we are so shorthanded, we don't have the luxury of our sector cars being able to do traffic enforcement like they used to do, because they're just running from call to call to call. So people call for service, and that's the first priority. But what we are lucky enough to have is I will have either our Honda unit, so those are sort of the dirt bikes, our traffic unit, which is the guys on the Harleys, or our overtime officers from Ingleside in the SUVs in the area doing traffic enforcement. So when you see officers doing traffic enforcement, it is probably somebody who is willing to come in on their day off to do it, which is sort of a hats off to the officers here, because it's granted they're getting paid for it, but it's a big ask to have, you know, people constantly give up their time away from their friends and family. But, you know, we're doing it. And when you tell me places like this, it's really important because our human resources are so limited. When you tell me these things, it helps me focus. So thank you for bringing that up. And if anybody has any other areas, I'd love to hear about it.
Okay, yeah, especially on Sunnydale Visitation, that's right in front of the school, they go fast. I have a question, I don't know if you know, I know the Mayor Bree is gonna put 400 plus cameras. Are you aware, are they planning to install any cameras in the valley? Or you have any idea, or if there are?
Yeah, there should be coming. I know the first rollouts have happened, not yet in our area, but it should be coming. My guess is, you know, Sunnydale, Bayshore area, those cameras will go up. So, and the cameras, there's two different camera systems that we're talking about. These camera systems that have started their rollout now are called flock cameras, FLOCK. Those cameras are license plate reader cameras. So they don't look at the drivers, they just look at the make and model of the car and a very, you know, high def picture of the license plate. The other cameras that are coming in, we probably won't see for about a year, or because of the state bill that passed, are going to be speed cameras. And my guess is we will probably be seeing them on Bayshore. The MTA is looking for areas where they have the highest traffic fatalities and traffic collisions, and that is where they're going to start putting these speed cameras. So it's a lot of cameras coming.
Okay, I know you said, one more thing, I know you say you're limited in manpower. But can police officers cite someone for legal dumping, especially in Leland Avenue and other parts of Visitation Avenue? Do police have that authority to do that?
We do. There are different site sections that would apply to it depending on where things are being dumped, if it's on a roadway or in a park, on a sidewalk. So there are different sections that would apply. We would really need to see the person doing it or have video evidence and, you know where that person is in order to be able to cite them. But it is something that we can do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions for the captain? So you said that there might be, you expect that they're going to put some cameras on Bayshore, or they're going to put them on places where there's a lot of accidents or fatalities. Have there been any accidents or fatalities on Bayshore this year?
Off the top of my head, I don't recall any, which is great. Fender benders, always everywhere. I can't recall any major fatalities. But I would anticipate that any of those corridors that, people are speeding, and pedestrian safety is becoming an issue, that those are the corridors that we're going to see the speed cameras. For major ingresses and egresses in and out of the city, that people are coming in from out of town to do bad things and we want to get their license plate, that's where you're going to see the license plate cameras.
Got it. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for the captain? I don't see any. Thank you very much, Captain Hurwitz. Officer Cortez.
I do have a quick question. Sorry. Hey, I know you guys used to have a substation in Sunnydale. Are you guys, there's still a substation in Sunnydale? If not, are you planning to have another substation, or that's over with? Right
now, we don't have a substation, and the construction there and the uprooting of residents had a lot to do with it. So the need for it was substantially decreased. We will look at it, once everything is sort of back to normal in that area. And as we get more residents coming back, we will definitely look to reevaluate that. Our problem is just the lack of human resources. That is, it's got our hands tied in a lot of ways. We still have a sector car in the area, but I don't have anybody in a substation per se right now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nelson. Good questions. I also would want to mention that the third Tuesday of every month, we have a community meeting here. I would really like to get some more representation. Marlene, we love Marlene. Marlene's been, she's on the CPAB, but I would really love to have more representation from Viz Valley at our community meetings. So they're at Ingleside Station at 6 o'clock on the third Tuesday of the month, which makes the next one, Lorena's the 20th of May?
The 21st of May.
21st of May.
Yes.
Got it. So the 21st of May at 6. So, that would be great. And also if anybody wants to get our newsletter, it goes out once a week. We also have an email list for community alerts. Just, I guess you can send it to Anna or maybe Robert or somebody could be the liaison just to get it to me. And we'll make sure that you are added onto our list. It will give you, the weekly breakdown of crime and throughout the districts.
All right. Thank you so much for that information as well, and for the questions that were asked. Any other questions for the captain before we sign off for today? All right, well, fantastic. Thank you so much. It's been a great update, and hopefully, prayerfully, things will continue in a downward trend in terms of crime, and everybody can rest easy.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for participating, and have a great afternoon.